Ba, ba, ba. Let's see if this thing goes live. I'm a little disheveled. Not disheveled. I just haven't done my hair. My beard is getting kind of long. Anyways, let's share this up on the Twitter. Hey, Sarah. How you doing? Oh, Jesus. I said, hey, Sarah, and Siri turned on. That's fucking great. Yo, hello, everybody. My audience. My rewired soldiers. You're welcome, Pika Wolf. You're welcome. Hold on. Let me pull this up so I can share my screen with all of you. I don't think that I'm... Oh, hey. Bionic Pig. New video. Hey. All right, so you guys need some advice. This is kind of like a town hall, so come on in. Give me advice. So, anyways, I wanted to do this. Chat. Toss around some ideas with all of you. Epic Kami. Hey, before... Okay, you guys. So, there's only one... There's a couple rules of this chat. Wait until I talk. All right, let me explain things. And then lay it on me. Well, the other rule is the solution is not deleting the channel. So as a YouTuber, the channel took off last year. I was able to take on YouTube and writing and everything like that full time. And, you know, it worked and it grew and everything like that. Now, obviously there were some missteps and things like that, but my mission, and it's always been with this YouTube channel, is to provide a place where we could talk about mental health and maybe provide suggestions for people while never saying or claiming to be a licensed professional. I'm just some fucking drug addict who struggled with anxiety, depression, traumatic childhood, and other things. And I wanted to get this message out there. And I made hundreds of videos. Let's sort this by date. I made hundreds of videos, all of these, back before I knew how to make a fucking thumbnail. I started to spruce up my thumbnail game and things like that. Still wasn't good. Oh my God, these are atrocious. I started doing that and nothing really popped, right? Now, people have accused me of having an ego, and I think Shane Dawson brought up a good point when he first started off his Jake Paul series, where he said there's something going on with YouTubers. There's something that's got to be different about a YouTuber to do this, right? And through reflecting, I agree. I won't deny that ego does come into play because I've had a goal of growing a mental health channel. But the problem arises when you're trying to grow a channel, but people aren't watching videos. And I've seen the argument of it's not about how many people you help, it's about helping people. I 1000% agree, but when talking with my therapist and other people in my life, they've asked, what's your goal? What's your outcome? What's this thing that you want to do? And I said, I have two goals. I have two overall missions in my life. One of them is to change the way that we talk about mental health, to make it more of a common conversation, to integrate it into our daily lives, to make it less of a taboo subject. That's one of my goals. My other goal is to help as many people as possible. Now, there's no number on helping as many people as possible. There's no number at all. Like, That number could be 5 people. That number could be 5 million people. But I want to help as many people as possible. So that's something that keeps me moving forward, right? So anyways, let me change this. Through some changes in the channel, starting about here. So if we look at this together, and this is where I need your advice. If we look at this together, we can see what videos work, what videos don't. Okay, so I've done 1, 2, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 24, 20, no, including these, 28 videos, almost 30 videos. So if we look at the topics, and the subject matter and everything like that, obviously my return video, that did well. People were waiting for that. I had a conversation with Todd Grande. That came back. That did well too. And then there's some drop off, right? There's some drop off. Now, as somebody who works to learn and study the algorithm and things like that, there are certain ones that have fared better with the algorithm. So my Us videos, those did okay. Those did all right. This one's doing well. That's surprising. But then I look at discussing the Cardi B, the Billie Eilish situation. This one, I think that one might gain some traction over time. Typically, it takes the algorithm a while. Now, to pause real quick, there's gonna still be people who are going to, sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I'm just kind of talking out loud because I want to get your guys' feedback, but I want just to let you know everything. So anyways, it could take the algorithm a while to promote your content. But here's one of the issues that I have. Dr. Mark Goldstein is one of the most intelligent, respected people out there talking about the most serious aspect of mental health. He talks about preventing suicide. The first video I did with him, granted it was long, 59 minutes, 2.1 thousand views. But the only reason that video has gotten those views has been because I've been promoting that video a lot. If you check my homepage, I actually made it my channel trailer. Oh, you can't see it right now because I'm live. But Dr. Mark Goldstein, I brought a professional on my channel, right? Well-respected professional. This video with Dr. Mark Goldstein, he's talking about something called chronic suicidality. There are people who are constantly having suicidal ideations. And 458 people, that, don't get me wrong, that is a lot of people. That is a lot of people who may not have known about chronic suicidality. It could be 458 people who are struggling with it and now they have a name for it or they don't feel alone. There's only a few comments on that video, but maybe even those comment sections, people feel connected and less alone in that situation. But I look at it, and then there's this video I posted on April Fool's Day, which is a story about me learning through my own experience, me learning from my experience what someone like Gabby Hanna was going through. Now, about 2,000 to 3,000 of those views came when I had the April Fool's title and thumbnail on there. And then about 4,000 more came. And that's interesting. I made a video on The Office. I made a video on Buffy. I'm just looking at these. I made a video on Donald Trump and mental health care. Another very serious topic that I wish people would care about. But here's the other dilemma that I've had. So we look at positive and negative reinforcements, right? And I've made videos. So let me show you guys just something real quick. So if I were to base how are videos doing? If I were to base this on likes to dislikes, right? So you have a video with Dr. Mark Golston, and it's about suicide and preventing suicide with a professional, the suicide expert. And there's 140 dislikes on it, right? There's 140 dislikes on it, not talking about YouTubers, not talking about drama. There's 140 dislikes on it. I go to a video talking about mental health care. 125 dislikes, 134 likes, okay? Let's see. Oh, here's another example. I was asked to speak at a high school to teenagers about mental health. 383 dislikes. So I've also done my best, and some of it's unavoidable, to stay out of the drama and everything like that. And regardless of that, there have been multiple videos made about me between those two times, between my break, between coming back, multiple videos about me. And don't get me wrong, I don't blame those creators because they're playing the YouTube game. So when you're playing the YouTube game, people are getting views off of my name. And that's understandable. I get it. I'm a YouTuber. But if you were in my shoes, think about that for a second. You're a YouTuber where the goal of YouTube, if YouTube was a game, the goal of that game is to get views on your videos, right? If that's the goal, and regardless of what I do, or regardless of what I don't do by staying away from topics, people are still going to drive by and dislike it. People are still going to drive by and leave nasty comments. People are still going to create videos about me. So here's my question to you. What is my incentive? Now I'm looking at the chat. What's my incentive? Knowing a few things. Knowing that we now have statistics, we have evidence, we have hardcore facts that no matter what I do, dislikes, negative comments, videos being made about me. So those things are going to happen no matter what. And the videos I make to help people aren't getting views. So what's the solution? I'm reading the chat now. All right. Sorry if you guys were saying things like I wasn't reading the chat. I just kind of wanted to talk for a little bit. So hold on. Let me change the chat to live chat. I got about 30 or 40 minutes. Guys, the problem is not that he's getting hate. He's on the internet. That's literally all that's going to happen. Just stop expecting more from people who are human just like you. I agree, Vampire Queen. I don't leave nasty comments, and I never give a dislike. That's awesome, Peggy. Okay, love, let's get honest. Do you need advice, or are you looking for people to confirm the decisions you already made? No, Epic Kami. I'm looking for your advice. I want you to step into my shoes and tell me what you would do. And also keep in mind that YouTube is my job. YouTube pays my bills. I have a son to feed. Like, just step into my shoes. That's what I want you to do, Epic Kami. But if you have ideas, I'm more than happy to entertain those ideas. Everyone in this chat is saying you're losing views because of your controversies. This is true. Your incentive is your ultimate goal. Yep. The solution is to leave YouTube. Zap kapow. I only had 2 rules. One of those rules was that the answer is not me leaving YouTube. So that you lost. You lost the game right there. Unalome Digital. So for all those who are tagging you on here, there are people that you've helped, me for one. So that brings up another good point. You guys, play a game with me real quick. I talked about this in my borderline personality disorder video. So the videos I was making was helping people, right? Like, for example, my #1 video, this is a great case study. Let's do this together. 32,000 likes and 3,500 dislikes, discussing the psychology of what somebody like Illimation, a trauma survivor, was going through. 32,000 likes, 3,500 dislikes, okay? And, you know, if you go through these comment sections, and don't get me wrong, I don't fault any commentator, because it would take you 40 hours plus to go through all my videos, analyze the data. Drew Gooden just did a video analyzing data. Maybe I should have him do it. But yeah, like Unalom Digital, sorry I'm butchering your name, you were helped by my videos. And here's the other issue with the YouTube algorithm that I want you guys to take into consideration. Most of the time, the YouTube algorithm, because we all know that the YouTube algorithm does not tell you when new videos come out from people you're subscribed to. But I realized with the algorithm that if you keep making videos on something that someone's already watching, even though YouTube isn't notifying you of me and my new videos, it's going to suggest it because it's related to something else that you recently watched. All right, so DSD, man, we still need to do a podcast together. You have to stay true to yourself. I wouldn't chase topics to get views because that is the path to the dark side. Yeah, so DSD, like, I don't know if you want to comment again, but again, DSD, I'm stuck in this conundrum. The only reason I want views is because each view is a possible person I could help. Okay, so that's the conundrum, okay? So I want you to think about that and bring it back to that. Nunya, do whatever you want, but just own it 100%, no deflection, just, I want views, and this gets me views, so I'm doing it. Nunya, that's kind of what I'm talking about is, yeah, like, I don't think I've ever hidden the fact that I want views. Like, I want views, I want subscribers, I want those things. And in the process, I also want to help people. Like my goal is to help people, and I want views and subscribers. You know, it's, for me, and how I balance my personal moral compass is keeping the helping. My cat is running all over the fucking place. The way I balance my morals and my personal morals and ethics is always helping people at #1. Now, don't get me wrong, for all 180 of you in here, I have realized that I strayed from that quite a bit in multiple videos. I don't think all the videos, if I'm being honest, but I do think some videos I got caught up in the drama of it rather than the mental health aspect of it. And here's something that I think, if anybody's recording this and you want a clip, here's something that I've been talking about and discussing. Like, something I was never transparent about is that I love watching drama. I love it just like everybody else, and I love just seeing messy ass situations. I love it, but you know, I try to learn something from every messy ass situation. Whenever I see a messy situation, I try to take that mess and turn it into a message for myself, and then I try to use that for others. So one issue I think that a lot of us have is that we smack a label on somebody and think they can only be one thing. So I'm a drama consumer as well as a mental health channel. Like, that's what I did, especially since a lot of my content revolved around talking about the situations in the drama community. So I loved enjoying drama, consuming drama, and that's where I think some wires got crossed too, because, oh, the cats are fighting. That's where I think some wires got crossed too, because I was talking to other creators just, you know, about drama that's going on. Like, I like drama. I watch reality TV. I don't know if any of you have watched Love After Lockup, but I watched that. And yeah, that's something that, you know, I don't think I was transparent about, but it's something that I've realized, like, I enjoy watching drama. I just try to turn it into something else. Pastime, I don't think you did anything wrong. If people don't want their personal issues talked about, then they shouldn't make them public. Well, pastime, something I'm trying to understand is I still watch commentary channels. I haven't been watching drama channels. I see those as very different things. Like, if any of you could see, like, iNabber is one of my top ones. I watch Philip DeFranco. Philip DeFranco is more news rather than commentary. Barely throws in his opinion. But I try to analyze the difference between what I do and what a normal commentator does. And the main difference is that I throw in the word mental health, those two words, mental health. I toss that into there, and it's a very touchy subject for many people. Not all people, but if any of you have been here this whole time, and I talked about the two goals I have, one of them is to help as many people as possible, and the second one is to change the way that we talk about mental health, right? Because something I've often said, and you might have noticed this in a lot of my videos, is I say mental health does not mean a lack of a mental disorder. Mental health is how we live our lives, how we react to different situations. I would fully admit that my mental health was not good when I was sitting around reacting to different situations. Sierra, read actual helpful comments, not just the comments you want to read. So Sierra, believe it or not, I read most of the comments. Now, you have to take into consideration, and this is just another put yourself in my shoes, you also have to take into consideration there's thousands and thousands and thousands of comments. When I did my collaboration with, I think it was Thomas Halbert, it's difficult because you get 1,000 comments, right? 1,000 comments. 1,000 is a decent number. Like, if I told you to read 1,000 comments, that's a decent amount of comments. So you get a few different kinds of comments, right? You get, I love this video, it helped me, thank you, da-da-da-da-da, great video. You get criticism, right? You get constructive criticism. Hey, I think you could have handled this I think you could have talked about this subject in a different way. Hey, I think you should read this article and educate yourself some more. I think you should do this, da-da-da-da-da, right? Then there's another one where people disagree with opinion, right? And I was thinking about writing a blog post about this, but I feel like as a society, we've gotten to a place where people aren't allowed to disagree with one another on opinions. That's one of the reasons I love philosophy, because philosophy is all about just having conversations and having different views and opinions. So somebody might disagree with an opinion, right? So if I looked at a YouTuber in a situation, I said, in my opinion, and this is something I'm trying to get better at, right? In my opinion, what they did was wrong. In my opinion, what they did was unhealthy. In my opinion, da-da-da-da-da, right? And somebody might argue that opinion. Somebody might say, no, I think you're wrong, Chris, and that's cool. We have a disagreement. When you look at any commentary channel, most commentary channels have built their audience calling out bad behavior. Now, again, the difference that I found through my analyzing, and some of you can correct me if you've seen something else, is that commentators have built a platform off of calling out bad behaviors. I've done the same thing, but I use the word mental health. That's the only difference I can find. So, but if you disagree with that, let me know, because I want to know. Sorry, I'm skipping some of the comments. Christina says, you're straying away from the, and there's one more type of comment. There's other ones that are just hate comments, such as, kill yourself, fuck you, you fat fuck, you're a piece of shit, you shouldn't be doing this, you're nobody, da, ba, 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 ba. So then that's the other one. So it's hard to kind of separate all those. Christina says, you're straying away from the topic. My suggestion is to go back to school, get at least certified, get a job in a center where you can help people, and made vids with patients who consent. So Christina, valid point. So let's talk for a minute. Right now, I currently can't go back to school. I owed a lot of money in student loans from when I was a drug addict, and I cannot get approved for new student loans until quite a bit of money is paid off, and that's something I screwed up in my past. So I cannot go back to school. But Christina, I can't go back to school right now. And Christina, I would argue I would argue to look up the research on peer support. Someone who's been through an experience, such as 12-step programs, such as support groups for veterans, such as support groups for trauma survivors. I would say to look up the research on that, because based on what you're saying, there's an idea that the only help that anybody can get is from a licensed professional. But based on the studies, we know that's not true. So the other thing I've thought about, Christina, is let's play this through. I make the money, which has been hard to do since I've changed my YouTube channel around. I make the money to pay off my student loans. I get back into school. I get back into school and rack up other student loans. So Christina, my question is, I have to check my motives. What is my motive for getting that degree? What's my motive? If I'm being honest with myself, the only reason I would be getting that degree would be to appease other people. So my question to all of you right now listening is, do you think that somebody should go and get tens of thousands of dollars in student loans just to appease other people? Do you think that that's a good idea? And that's an honest question. Let me hop to some other ones. Tagging me helps. Perhaps use other YouTubers as stepping stone to talking about your own personal experience with that topic. Bring it back to your experience. So according to Jexy, that is an excellent point. And I think that's where I fucked up too, was, and this is something I've talked about. I talked about this, I think, with Todd Grande. I think I talked about this with Paul Grossclose. I did not do a good enough job because, Jexy, I have personal experience with traumatic childhood. I have personal experience with anxiety. I have personal experience with depression. I have personal experience with abusive relationships. I have personal experience with drug and alcohol addiction. I have personal experience with all those things, right? I have personal experience with having emotions that are out of control. I have personal experience with suicidal ideation. I have personal experience with making a lot of dumb fucking decisions. I have personal experience with surviving terrible circumstances or terrible situations in my life and trudging forward. Those are the things I have personal experience with. So Jexy, where I fucked up, which I've looked at, I believe, and feel free to comment, is that for the things that I don't have personal experience with, there's two issues that I believe I had. One was that I did not clarify enough that this is my personal opinion. I think if I really clarified that, it's like this is an opinion, right? But on the other hand, when I was talking about things that I've learned, okay, okay, you guys excuse my messy desk. No, actually, here, hold on. Well, no, hold on. Here, if any of you guys are interested. So I read a lot of, oh, no, hold on. I'm lying to you. The other thing I have personal experience in is working with the mentally ill and addicted for over 3 years, right? But anyways, what I need to get better at is citing sources, right? Citing sources. So I do a lot of reading. This is only one page of multiple pages of books. So to bring it back to Jexy, I think that's a place where I definitely needed to improve. Vic Vicious, you're incredibly condescending. And that's never my intention, so I'm sorry if you feel that way. Carrie Cat says, mental health is... By the way, if any of you want to email me to further this conversation, because I've got about 15 minutes left, feel free to email me your suggestions based off this live stream. I'm going to be taking it down afterwards. Because I know DSD said something. I told you to respond, but I'm getting a lot of comments. So feel free to email me at therewiredsoul@gmail.com. So Carrie Katz says, the mental health education is not solely about licensings. It's learning how to think differently. Precisely, Carrie. That's one of the reasons I'm trying to push people getting into philosophy. So here's the other thing. So let's go back to licensing and professionals. So I was at 102,000 subscribers. So minus 6,000, I've lost 16,000 subscribers. 16,000 subscribers. And one of the main arguments is that I'm not licensed. So Nate Smith is this great, amazing guy. Nate Smith is an LPC currently pursuing his PhD. So my question is if licensing is the issue, why didn't 16,000 people who left my audience go subscribe to Nate Smith? Why do you think that is? Let me know in the comments down below. Why do you think that 16,000 people who left me, because they have their opinion of me, did not go to Nate Smith's channel? Nate Smith has been, he's rising definitely in YouTube based on all of these things. And watching his video that he did with Dr. Todd Grande, they had this kind of discussion about how do you get mental health out there when, you know, even Nate Smith is realizing that the only time he gets a significant amount of views is based on controversial topics. So let me know down in the comments below, why do you think it is that when 16,000 people left my channel, they didn't go to Nate Smith? Now, same thing with Dr. Todd Grande, right? People say Dr. Todd Grande had a great criticism of me, which he absolutely did. And we've had some good discussions. So in the last month, I've lost 16,000 subscribers. Todd Grande has gained almost 8,000 subscribers. Why has Todd Grande not gained 16,000 subscribers? If the primary issue was licensing, why did all the people who had that issue not move over to licensing? I have my own theories on that, but I would like to hear. So, okay. So this is a great one right here. My life as Erica. So my life as Erica. Stop commenting on what's wrong with other people and focus on yourself. So my question that comes to mind is, isn't that what every YouTube commentator channel does though? Like how many videos, and this is nothing against Fraser, iNabber is right there, but iNabber is a commentary channel. He doesn't have any videos about himself. So why do you think it is that I'm not allowed to talk about other people and I can only talk about myself? But also my life as Erica, my question to you is too, if you go through and look at my content, I have made videos solely talking about myself. One of them, for example, is my drug addiction story, which isn't doing too bad for only being up for a day. But I have made videos talking about myself, but they didn't perform. So my life as Erica, like if I'm a YouTuber that's playing to the audience and trying to give topics to the audience, like something that I learned, which is part of the way I try to humble myself, is realizing like I'm not that fucking important. So my life as Erica, my question to you is, when I realize that people don't care about me, they don't want to see videos about me, why would I make videos about myself when people don't want to watch videos about me now? Hold on. Let me read some of these. No, hey, Slot Girl, he's rambling, not even reading them. Sorry, Slot Girl, I have 125 people in here. I can't read all of them. So my life is Erica, then continue doing that. I don't know what that was in reference to. Yeah, and like I said, sorry everybody, like there's 125 people. I'm not gonna see all your comments. Feel free to email me at therewiredsoul.com if you wanna keep this conversation going. Emma J, you need to talk about yourself. Emma J, the same thing that I said to Erica, like, what's your solution? I make videos talking about myself, but they don't get views, which is something that a YouTuber needs. In order for a YouTuber to do their job, they have to get views. And like analyzing my channel, those haven't got views. So Robo says, people's issue wasn't with you talking about people on YouTube. The issue was you were providing essentially therapy on Patreon when you didn't have credentials. So Robo, that in itself that's something I didn't address in my Medium article, but that's a false claim. That I was providing essentially therapy. I was providing a hangout session. That's not therapy. And that's something that many YouTubers do. So, for example, shit. Where is she? Diane Jennings. Wait, hold on. Diane Jennings. So here's my friend Diane Jennings. Personal message, video shout out. Where is it? Polls and chats just for Patreon. So Diane provides hangouts. It's something that YouTubers do. So I wasn't providing therapy, and it's said as such. I think I still haven't changed my Patreon yet, which I plan on doing. But I wasn't providing essentially therapy because I wasn't providing therapy. So I even put a disclaimer. And something that I'm curious about is just offering advice. So Alyssa Bella, hey Alyssa Bella, I was thinking about you. I'm like, where the fuck is Alyssa been? I missed the old videos. You've built your fan base by talking about other YouTubers. Alyssa Bella, I prefer story times about yourself. So yeah, so that's the other thing too. What time is it? Because I have an appointment pretty soon. That's the other thing too. There's some of you who prefer that. You prefer story times about myself, right? So like this video, it did fairly well yesterday, my drug addiction story. So like, how do I appease both audiences? How do I find that balance, right? Because I'm not that important. That's one of the reasons that I believe vlogging channels aren't as big as they used to be, because a lot of people don't want it. Like, what is, like, what's your selling point to talk about, you know, yourself? Did anybody answer my question about Nate Smith and Todd Grande? Sunshine Girl, I work in mental health and I'm not licensed other than a psychology degree. See? Studying is crucial. I study psychology. You learn something new every day. You can't just Google it. Talking about experience is fine, but don't go relating to psychological principles. Elaine, I don't know if you were here when I was showing this, but I'm constantly reading books on psychology from some of the greatest psychologists in the world and mental health thinkers and philosophers and things like that. And I also know that I'm not a psychologist. I'm not in school for psychology. But again, I consult with people like Dr. Mark Goulston. Now, I wasn't before, but now I consult with people like Dr. Mark Goulston, who is a very popular psychologist. Kimberly, where did you reach out? I think I remember seeing you comment somewhere, but I never got a message from you. The best place to do it is my email address. Try to invite some YouTubers onto your channel to talk about their mental health openly. You'll get lots of views. So Sierra, that's definitely a good point. Thank you, and thank you for the super chat. Something that I want to do is reach out to other YouTubers, right? Now, one of the issues is that not all of them are going to get back to me, right? Some of them will. And that's originally the idea I had for a podcast, was just like, yo, let's have a conversation. Like, have any of you listened to the Dax Shepard podcast, Armchair Expert? It's fucking phenomenal. So Dax Shepard, celebrity, recovering addict and alcoholic, he basically does that. He brings other celebrities on his podcast to talk about mental health and to talk about, you know, those types of subjects, and I fucking love it. Now, one leg up that Dax Shepard, look at me fucking up my hair. One leg up that Dax Shepard has on me is that he's a celebrity and very well connected. So, Sierra, I absolutely agree, and that's an idea I had for a podcast for a long time. And right before all this stuff went down, I was actually getting closer to that. Like some of you saw when I was in Los Angeles, I was meeting up with other YouTubers and we were having these discussions, right? And it was cool. Like, I got to that place where we could sit down and just have a conversation. And it seems like right when I was getting to that point, it came down. But yes, absolutely, Sierra. And that's something that I want to work on. I want to work on reaching out to other YouTubers. Melrose, do more videos talking about how you handle the situation. Start the YouTuber situation that you see that you've been through and say, this is how you handled it. Not that they should. Yeah, so Melrose, that brings up another great topic, and actually a video that I'm releasing tomorrow morning. It's part 2 of the Mark Goulston one. Like, I get that people don't want me to talk about this anymore, but my channel has always been about normalizing the conversation about mental health. Part of it is through talking about my own journey. And I feel that, like, I get people don't want me to talk about it anymore, but like, I would be remiss to not be going through a mental health struggle and then share it with you, right? Like, I'm going through a lot of mental shit, and I have been for weeks now. So like, that would completely counteract like the point of my channel if I don't share my personal experience with you guys on how I'm getting through it. Like, when I get on the other side of this thing, and I think I'm like halfway through, if this thing is a tunnel, I think I'm like halfway through. When I get on the other side of this thing, you know, I want that to be a beacon of hope, or even a cautionary tale to other YouTubers, but I want it to be a beacon of hope for all of you, the viewers, to see, you know, what it's like to not give up, to what it's like to get punched right in the face and get back up, to get, you know, to make mistakes and try to learn from them. You know what I mean? So, I'm a vlogging channel and my message is about disability, surely is important. My selling point, that comment kind of hurt. Hey, Kara, no disrespect to you. So, hey, everybody, go subscribe to Kara.
Can you fake?
Booyah. Oh, wait, it's fucking Kara. Kara, you change your name all the time. So, yeah, Kara, I know your channel. I know your channel, girl. I love you. So, yeah. So, Kara, you know the struggle that I'm talking about is, and I don't know if YouTube's your job yet, but you know the struggle that I talk about is the algorithm. Like, Kara makes some phenomenal videos, and this is one of the reasons why I invited so many guests on my channel. Kara makes phenomenal fucking videos talking about some real shit, but YouTube doesn't promote those. So go subscribe to Kara. I'll paste it in the chat. Because, yeah, this is something definitely we need to bring awareness to. A few more minutes. So, Epic Kami. Again, Epic Kami, like, I get it. But Epic Kami. So, this is probably the last topic I'll talk about because I have an appointment pretty soon. Hey, Summer. So, Epic Kami, me and you right now. The issue is that YouTube is my job. With this being what I use to feed my son, put a roof over my head, pay my bills, like, and seeing that talking about myself and only sharing my personal experience is not paying my bills. It's not it's not that, right? So, like, here's my drug addiction story. It's an hour long, which is decent. But there's only so many times I can share about my drug addiction. You know what I mean? So Epic Comedy, feel free to email me, therewiredsoul@gmail.com if you want to keep this conversation going. Like, I 1000% agree with you, but, you know, one of the things is, something I try to remember is I need to live in the world that I actually live in and not the world that I wish I lived in, right? That's one of the reasons, you know, I don't even want to get political, but like socialism, right? Like they're talking about socialism, making everything equal for everybody, right? Free college, you know, mandatory basic income, free healthcare, right? Like, cool, sign me up. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could do everything for free. I wish everything was free. I wish that getting views on YouTube didn't matter. I wish that did not matter, Epic Comedy. I wish that had no effect on my livelihood. So, going back to the rules of this live chat, people would say, okay, then quit YouTube and get a different job. Like, that is something that I'm not doing. I'm not quitting YouTube. When, you know, we know what works, we know what doesn't. You know what I mean? I agree with the whole Trisha thing. She was showing a young audience that her destructive relationship is in some way normal. It definitely was not, and she had a responsibility to be a good role model. Jessica Jenkins, I agree. Like I said, all commentary channels out there, if you look at any commentary channel, here's your homework. If you look at any commentary channel, the substance of their channel is calling out bad behavior. The substance of any commentary channel is calling out bad behavior. I'll repeat this one more time. The substance of any commentary channel is calling out bad behavior, okay? So I'm trying to understand why they're allowed to do it, but I'm not. And the only thing that I can come up with is I use the word mental health. That's the only thing I can come up with, you know? So I gotta log off, but send me emails at therewiredsoul@gmail.com. Dollface Nelson, I've never speculated on someone's mental health. Like, to this day, there's not one clip that anybody has ever found of me speculating on someone's mental health. The only time I've even talked about a diagnosis is if a person said they had a diagnosis, which is something that I'm thinking, you know, that I've honestly considered. And that's a tricky one too, right? If somebody says they have something, does the public have a right to comment on that thing that they have, you know? So yeah, Dollface Nelson, and feel free, you know, I know you used to be a loyal subscriber, but feel free to email me at therewiredsoul.com if you would like to discuss. But there is not one instance that anybody can find of me speculating someone's mental health or mental health disorder for that matter. I have never once commented on a mental health disorder unless it was stated by the person. Bobby Burns is another one. Hey, it's Dre. Bobby Burns is another one. There was never a point where I speculated on his mental health, and I even put a disclaimer that I was not calling him any of those things. Jessica Jenkins. All right, sorry. Last thing I'm gonna comment on. Reopening the Facebook, man. Doing my live stream yesterday, sharing my story. I really want to. It's just the liability right now, and I need to figure out a way to not. I really need to figure out a way to do it without liability. Jade 20.02. Jade. Jade said, if you can't make a stable living on YouTube, get a second job. So again, I would argue that why are commentary channels allowed to make a living off YouTube talking about other YouTubers, but I'm not? All right, so feel free to email me. I got to log off. I appreciate all of you and your comments and suggestions. It gives me a lot of things to look at. And I'm not saying what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to be talking about YouTubers again. But just want to have a conversation, y'all. All right? So thank you very much. And I'll talk to you all soon.